Hey, Vinny Lopes here for Off the Block, and another fantastic Friday night in college men's volleyball, especially in the MPSF, as we had 3 matches go to a decisive 5th game. And of those matches, there was none bigger than number 4 Pepperdine knocking off number 6 BYU. And looking at this match, you have to start with the performance of All-American setter Matt West. In the victory, he had 68 assists, and he did such a great job distributing the ball to all the players on his team. 5 Pepperdine players in the victory, finished with double-digit kills. It was a great performance by the All-American setter. West showed why he's one of the top players in the nation and in the running for the volleyball award. But then you look a little deeper at that Pepperdine box score. Josh Taylor, his 2nd straight match with 20-plus kills, and then Parker Kalmbach coming up big again, non-stop. Every single time Pepperdine needed a big kill, he was there, especially in the 5th game when it was 14-13, and Kalmbach got that decisive match-winning kill. A great performance for the Waves as they now move a little bit closer into the hunt for that possible number 1 overall seed in the MPSF. And for BYU right now, it's a tough loss, and right now they're teetering on the verge of possibly falling out of contention for that at-large bid. So a very critical match for BYU coming up on Saturday. Really need to get that victory in the series finale against Pepperdine to split that series and to get a little momentum going into their home stretch of the season. So that was one of the matches last night. The other couple big ones was CSUN. They were able to get a really nice victory against Cal Baptist. You know, CSUN entered Friday 2 matches out of the MPSF tournament, or for that last spot in the MPSF tournament. Really needed to beat Cal Baptist for them to remain in the hunt realistically. It's still going to be an uphill climb, but they took care of business, got the win. And then have to give a ton of credit also to USC and the job that they were able to do, rallying back from a 1-game deficit to beat Long Beach State in a 5th game. That was really impressive, and the player once again that stood out for me was Micah Christensen in this victory. And I know everyone's going to talk about the offense, his ability set. But I think the big thing in this match was his defensive prowess that we saw. Double-digit digs. He played great. He looked good. And, you know, USC, they really need this victory after losing to Long Beach State or losing to CSUN earlier this week. They were able to get the victory against Long Beach State. And now they kind of remain in that hunt for a possible top 4 seed in the MPSF and maybe an opportunity to host their first postseason match since 2012. So that was the big news out in the MPSF. But there was a couple other matches as well that really caught my eye on Friday night. Then 2 being in the MIVA. First one being huge upset. Probably the biggest upset of the night was Lindenwood being able to knock off sweeping number 14 Ball State. This was the first time this season that Lindenwood was able to defeat a nationally ranked team, and Colin Hackworth had one whirl of a night. 15 kills, 5 aces. He played great. It was an ugly offensive performance. Neither team was able to hit more than 200 in the match. There was lots of blocks, lots of aces. So a big win for Lindenwood, and for Ball State, really a very devastating loss for them. This was a tough loss, and they had a lot of momentum after getting a big win against Princeton. I was really interested to see what they'd be able to do, and they kind of fell up flat. And right now what we're starting to see, because of that loss, and then IPFW getting a really nice 4-game victory against Quincy, as you kind of look at that MIVA standings, you're starting to see the 3 teams on the top, Loyola, Lewis, and Ohio State, separate themselves. And then you got the 2 other teams in that 4-5, IPFW and Ball State, really starting to kind of narrow themselves into those possible 4-5 seeds for the upcoming MIVA tournament. And for me, I think that it's only fitting that we see Ball State, IPFW meet up in the conference tournament, with this being IPFW coaches Arnie Ball's final season. How great would it be to see those 2 teams meet in the postseason, especially if that match is played in Fort Wayne, which it looks like it could be right now. You kind of look at the standings and everything. It looks like IPFW has the upper edge to get that number 4 seed, and Ball State's going to slide in the 5th. But there's still a lot more college men's volleyball left. And if we have any of the results like we did tonight, we're going for one fantastic end to the regular season. And you're going to want to be sure to stay here at offtheblockblog.com for all your men's volleyball coverage.